Good morning, everyone. This is the complete walkthrough for the Scotland 9-hole Cup played in the Master Division qualifying round. Before continuing with the video, make sure you have hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I upload my hole by hole content on Saturday during the final round. The walkthrough is based on free-to-play balls. That is, you can use Centurions, Kingslayers, and Luminaries. I recommend using at least 1 to 2 practice tokens on every hole to get a feel of the approach and make any tweaks as necessary. If you feel my approaches are not good, then you do not have to follow anything I say and you may consider checking out somebody else. I believe a score of minus 16 or lower is possible using this playthrough with some add-on personal tweaks. Now, let's jump on to hole number 1. For the drive on hole number 1, we are going to start off with our quarterback at P5 and empty position and move 4 rings to the right. Then we will be switching to our Apocalypse. We will be applying 2 left spin and 7 bars of top spin. Adjustment will be max plus 10% P3, and using my grid, note the amount of curl I apply on the drive, and we'll be using maximum overpower, which will give us a comparatively slower needle. So triangle left curl and try to hit perfect. We are looking for a drive yardage somewhere around 385 to 390 yards. .389. For the approach shot, we are going to count rings from men. And in order to find a sweet landing spot, I recommend keeping the top of the blue ring by the fringe where it meets the fairway, and the white ring will be by the rough at bottom, something like that. And then you apply spins having ball guideline to the hole. Here I keep like just through the hole. I recommend keeping it to the hole because we have a hint of tailwind. Adjustment will be rings from men slider plus 10% P3 settings. Then you center the ball and hit perfect. And this will nicely coming hit in the pin for an eagle on hole 1 par 4. For hole number 2, I'm going to keep my bullseye by the rough line at P3 max just before it clips the rough. See right there, that's P3 max, and then switch to my luminary ball. Make sure you have the big dog or the cataclysm packed for the second shot. 2 right spin and 7 top spin. Adjustment once again max plus 10% P3. And then we apply 80% right curl. Try our best to hit perfect. We are looking for a drive yardage somewhere around 370 to 380 yards depending upon what roll you get. It can be dead bounces, it can be a little longer roll. 373. Shot number 2 will be played using your cataclysm. Here I'm going to use about 1 backspin and some right spin if needed. Here I plan to go with about 0.8 to 1 backspin, offsetting my ball guideline on the left side of the pin by 2 green squares. I'm playing this one maximum numbers with 30% elevation P4 settings. Now max plus 30 P4 was a little over adjusted, so maybe you can play max plus 30 P3 or try out max plus 25 P4. Again, I'm not going for the albatross here. I'm just trying to get onto the green or on the fringe for a very safe eagle. For hole number 3, I'm going to show you 2 sample drives with different sets of spins. From P5 and empty position, we are going to move first, in this case, 2.3 rings to the right. And then we are going to adjust max plus 20 P0. Now I'm going to use here 7 top spin and 2 left spin. Max left curl, max OP on a very slow needle, trying to hit perfect. The reason why I'm showing 2 plays is because I was near the green or on the fairway both the times with different sets of spin, and what we are trying to avoid is the glitch roll into the rough on top. So this was 7 top spin and 2 left spin, and we moved 2.3 rings right from the P5 NMT position. Now this is drive number 2. This time from P5 NMT, I'm going to move 2.5 rings. Previously we moved 2.3, now I'm moving 2.5. And I'm going to switch my spins from 7 top spin to 6 top spin this time. Now I recommend using less top spin. The reason why you will have like less chances of catching the glitch roll, and even if you don't get onto the green, you will have a very easy wedge for the eagle. So it's better to be safe and get into the wedge range than be sorry and roll into the rough on top. Adjustment max plus 20 P0 once again. Here I also hit a double great left. See, we are far away from the rough on the first bounce, and here we are nicely on the green for an eagle. So 2 drives there, whichever makes you feel more comfortable, go with that. Now it's time for hole number 4. Here we are going to start off with our P3 ball at complete P3 max, keeping the red ring touching the rough on right using Apocalypse level 7. Then we switch to a luminary ball, 2 top spin and 2 right spin. Adjustment max plus 20% P3. The reason why I'm using less top spin is because I'm trying to play in between the trees and get onto the green or near the green for a very safe eagle. Now half a ball of right curl, and do not apply any overpower even if you pull into some. Just try to hit perfect. We are looking for a drive yardage somewhere around 330 yards. .329. Now second shot, I played this one 10% medium distance, but I recommend playing somewhere 20 to 25% medium distance of your club. Use whatever spins necessary to have the ball guideline aiming at the pin. If you want, you can also keep ball guideline just left of the pin, and find a spot where you are not clipping the tree. Here I was a little short on the drive, so you will see when I pull my rings I will be clipping the tree, and hence I'll be using some right curl to counteract that. But if you roll longer, around like 332 to 333 yards, you will not have trees on your face while adjusting the rings. Here I do adjust inside the trees, so I use some counter right curl. I also hit a double great left, and as I used less elevation, I clipped the rough and roll out into the wedge range. So use 20 to 25% medium distance and you might get onto the green for a putt. And just in case if you end up into the wedge range, I also have a wedge shot for you. So wedge will be played using your EB or the rapier. I have rapier here since I don't have EB level 7 on this account. Measure your club at the pin. This one I estimated to be around 55 to 60% slider. Adjustment will be P4 minus 35% at slider. That is the topspin method, EB school topspin method. Ball guideline going through the hole. And then you do your adjustment and hit perfect. Perfect ball. Will nicely hit the pin dead center for the eagle on hole number 4. Now it's time for hole 5 par 4. Pack the B52 because we'll be using that for our rough check. Starting with a Centurion or a Kingslayer ball, 3 right spin and 7 top spin. Have the ball guideline centered between the 2 cuts of rough right there. Adjustment max plus 10% P3. then just center the ball and hit perfect. No need of any curl, any OP whatsoever. We are looking for a drive yardage somewhere around 380 yards. If you catch the glitch roll, which will be around 390 yards, then you will play ring from men. But if we are around 380 yards, we'll be using B52 rough check. 379 on the drive. Now, once we have our B52 in the bag, we'll be using to make a rough check here at, I think it was third cutoff rough. So that's first two, yeah. So third cutoff rough right there, +4. So +3 and +4 will be playing 39% slider. And we are going to keep the ball guideline going just to the hole. 39% slider plus 20% P3 settings. Then you center and hit perfect. And this will drop nicely dead center at the pin. Now, like I said, if you catch a glitch roll and roll around 390 on the drive, then you play rings from men and 20% P4 settings. So for B52 rough check, it's P3 settings, and rings from men, it's P4 settings. Hole number 6, here we're going to play with our Apocalypse level 5+ along with a luminary ball. Epoch 5 will need to play with something like an albatross ball to compensate for the less topspin on the driver. 2 left spin and 7 toss spin. At P5 max, we keep half of the white ring inside the rough on left. Just like that. Adjustment will be max plus 10% P5. And since it's a long par 5, I recommend packing the Cataclysm or the Big Dog as your wood club. Perfect ball. We are looking for a drive yardage somewhere around 410 yards. .412. Shot number 2 will be played with your Cataclysm or the Big Dog. Apply full top spin and 2 bars of right side spin. And here I am going to keep my second bounce by the bunker line. So I keep my second bounce by the bunker line with the ball guide line entering the fringe green. Now note that this shot is not great right proof, as you will end up in the bunker. We are trying to gain the advantage of the crosswind pushing us from right to left, so we bounce more center into the rough. Adjustment will be landing position plus yardage slider plus 0% P5 settings. I will have the slider percentages mentioned in the comment section shortly. Hit perfect. We roll from the rough into the green for a very safe putt for an eagle on hole number 6. For hole number 7, we are going to start with our P3 ball at an empty position and move 2.8 rings to the right using Apocalypse level 7 and 8. 6 and 5 will need to use a couple of practice tokens in order to know the rings needed to move from an empty position. Apply 7 top spin and 2 left spin. Adjustment will be max plus 10% P3, and then we have circle drop overpower. Now, one thing to note on the drive is to use a flicker 1159, because if you use any 1201, you will end up way short on the drive than we would like to. We are looking for a drive yardage around 290 yards. Shot number 2 will be played with your long iron B52 or the Grizzly. I'm using B52 level 7 here. Push rings from min, about 10 to 15 rings, and then apply top spin, having ball guideline at least 2.5 green squares through the hole. See right there, ball guideline going way past the hole. Adjustment will be 20% elevation P3 settings and rings from wind slider. Then center the ball and hit perfect. And this one has been dropping for me nicely for an eagle. Clip the rough, drop for the eagle. Hole 8 par 5. Here we are going to start off with our P3 ball at complete P3 max, keeping the clear ring touching the rough on left. See right there. Then we switch to our luminary ball and apply 5 top spin and 2 left spin. Adjustment will be max plus 10% P3, and then we are going to use Apocalypse 5 max left curl with max OP. And I have the grids on so you can note the amount of curl I'm going to apply here. See, triangle left curl with max OP, trying to hit perfect. Now I have hit single double great lefts, double greats rights and perfects. All drives have been safe, but I always recommend to hit perfect. Looking for a drive yardage around 380 yards. 379. Second shot will be played using your Cataclysm or the Big Dog from complete P5 max line. Here as a reference for Cat 6, I'm keeping the red ring touching the rough on left. 2 left spin and 1 back spin always. The adjustment is max plus 0 P5. Again, I was playing this one for a safe eagle, but I did try for the albatross by using circle break left curl, and I did drop it wonderfully dead center. I'm not saying it will drop for you as well from time to time, but you will be very, very close from the pin for a very safe eagle. But in this case, we drop center cup for an albatross. Again, max plus 0 P5 on the Cataclysm shot. Final hole, hole 9 par 4. Here we are going to play with once again our luminary ball at complete P5 max, bullseye by the rough line before it clips the rough. Bring to rest, adjustment max plus 10% P5, and then we push our target to max. They will be applying 7 top spin and 2 left spin. Max OP and half a ball of left curl, trying to hit perfect. Now even on the king winds, 12 miles per hour plus, I have been safe, like away from the rough, but if you catch a bad glitch roll, you might end up rolling into the rough on top. Our aim here is to get into the wedge range. You see, I was very close. 510 to 515 yards on the drive is our target. Then from there we are going to play our wedge shot, which will be either using the rapier or the endbringer. Measure your club at the pin. We are going to play somewhat no spin or spins as needed. I estimate it to be this one just below 90% slider. Have your bounce on the fringe with the ball guideline going through the hole, just like that. Adjustment will be 15% no spin, P3 settings. %, P3 at slider, no spin. Just center and hit perfect, and this will drop for an eagle. Again, use a couple of practice tokens on all holes to get a feel of the approach. And if you have any questions, you can always ask them in the comment section. Good luck on your qualifying rounds.